Jesus went up the mountain and sat down with his disciples. But when he looked up, there was a great multitude of people coming towards him. And he welcomed them, and he began to teach them many things about the kingdom of God. And he had compassion on them, and he healed their sick. Then, as evening approached, the 12 disciples came to him and said, "Lord, this is a remote place. Send the people away so they can find food and lodging in the surrounding villages and countrysides." Jesus said, "I do not need to send them away. You feed them." And then he turned to Philip and said, "Where shall we buy bread to feed the people?" He said this just to test Philip. He already knew what he was going to do. But Philip said, "Lord, it would take a year's wage to give each one a single bite of bread." And then Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, came up and said, "Here is a boy with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish." But how far will that go among so many? There was 5,000 men plus women and children here. Jesus said, "Bring me the barley loaves and the 2 small fish." Now there was plenty of green grass in this area, so he instructed his disciples to have the people sit down in groups. So they all sat down in groups of 50s and groups of 100. And then Jesus took the loaves and the fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks. And he broke the bread, and he gave it to his disciples to set before the people. And he did the same with the fish. He divided it, and they set it before the people. And all ate and were satisfied. And when all had eaten, he said to his disciples, "Gather up the leftover pieces and let nothing be wasted." So his disciples gathered up the leftover pieces, and it filled 12 baskets. And the people knew and began to say, "Surely this is the prophet that is to come into the world."